Hi, I'm Jenny Jones, a chartered physiotherapist, and on behalf of the ISCP, I'd like to welcome you to the start line of the Dublin Marathon. Congrats on getting this far. We're going to go through just a little bit of a warm-up to make sure that we give a nice stretch to all of the muscles that you're going to be using before the race. So we're going to do some dynamic stretching or stretching with movement to make sure that we're getting adequate blood flow to the muscles and that everything stays nice and loose for you during the run. We're going to start with the hip flexor. You're going to take a stride stance, making sure that we keep the hips in a nice neutral position and the tailbone tucked under. We're going to bend the knee and keeping the knee in the same line, perpendicular to the ground, coming down through full range of motion and back up. Down again and back up. It's important to keep the tailbone tucked under to make sure that all of the stretching happens at the front of the hip flexor. Next, we're going to work on the inner thigh. We're going to take just a little bit of a stride stance and move through the range of motion just by bending to one side, keeping the opposite knee straight. We'll move into the outer hips now. So just taking a little bit of a bend into the knee, crossing the ankle over to the opposite knee, adding a little bit of a squat and coming back out just to open up the outside of the hip. Great. And we can switch to the opposite side as well. So you don't want to hold your stretches for a long period of time. You want to keep going with movement. Next, we're going to get into the quads, taking the foot up into the hand. We're going to move through a little bit of motion here by bending the foot down and tilting forward and then returning back to the start position. Good. Next, we'll move to the back of the leg. We're going to take the foot out in front and move into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So we're going to do a little bit of a mini squat, tilting the body forward as we come down, releasing and coming back up. Back down and up. Keep the hips nice and square in order to make sure that you're obtaining a maximal stretch on the hamstring. Lastly, let's go ahead and stretch out the calves. So these are the guys that are going to be propelling you through the whole race, so give them a little bit of love. Taking a little bit of a lunge position, but keeping your heel down onto the ground. You're going to come forward, and we're going to move back and forth through the range of the calf. So stretching into all of the angles of this muscle, keeping it nice and loose. Great. So there's some main dynamic stretches for you guys to keep yourself nice, warm, and loose while you're waiting for your race to start. Congrats again on all the hard work that's got you there. Have a great race, and we'll see you at the finish line.